I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Chimchar. Perhaps the most famous character of folklore and popular culture in East Asia is Sun Wukong, otherwise known as the Monkey King. A monkey born from wind and stone, Sun Wukong learned magics and martial arts to the point of becoming the strongest and most powerful creature in China. After battling the heavens themselves and being imprisoned under a mountain, he is eventually freed to accompany a monk on a legendary quest, at the end of which he achieves enlightenment. These escapades may have had earlier origins in myth and folklore, but were most famously told in the novel Journey to the West. Since that book first came onto the scene in the 1500s, the character has been retold and reimagined in comic books, movies, video games, and everything in between, inspiring Son Goku in Dragon Ball, the 70s TV series Monkey, and the Rajang in Monster Hunter. Chimchar is the fire-type starter in Sinnoh, for now at least following the assumed pattern of fire starters inspired by the Chinese zodiac. Chimchar is a cute orange monkey with large ears, a tuft of hair resembling smoke on its head, and a ball of fire for a tail. Pokemon Pearl tells us, its fiery rear end is fueled by gas made in its belly. Even rain can't extinguish the fire. The fire-type starter with a fiery tail of course brings Charmander to mind, but Chimchar doesn't share its predecessor's weakness. It won't die if the fire goes out, and can in fact turn it off all by itself. Pokemon Diamond tells us, it agilely scales sheer cliffs to live atop craggy mountains. Its fire is put out when it sleeps. As a monkey character in a Japanese video game, Chimchar doesn't skip the opportunity for some toilet humour. Heart Gold and Soul Silver double down on what we heard before. The gas made in its belly burns from its rear end. The fire burns weakly when it feels sick. Luckily, Pokemon Legends escapes the fart zone and gets into the cool ethereal Will-o'-the-Wisp territory instead. Full of vigor and always in high spirits, it was once known by the name Lantern-Tail, and feared as some kind of apparition. The name Chimchar, of course, combines chimpanzee and char. Other than the fire which it is apparently farting out, Chimchar doesn't have an actual tail, so it could be an ape like a chimpanzee at this stage. The Japanese name Hikozaru combines hi, meaning fire, ko, meaning small or child, and saru, being Japanese for monkeys. This ape or monkey confusion is put to bed when, at level 14, Chimchar evolves into Monferno. Monferno is a taller, lankier, adolescent monkey. It now has a full-length prehensile tail, still tipped with flame, and a singlet on its head is beginning to hint at a kind of battle armor outfit. Pokemon Heart Gold tells us, a bigger fire on its tail and a brighter blue pattern on its face means its rank in its pack is higher. The Chinese character Sun Wukong may, like many mythological creatures in Japan and China, have a prototype in India. The character from Hindu folklore, Hanuman, is a monkey-like creature dressed in armor, usually with a tall crown and a sun behind his head. He's immune to flame, and he goes on an epic journey to help a noble cause. In some statues, he really looks like a military gorilla from the Planet of the Apes movies, and he does resemble Monferno, particularly as one of the most memorable episodes from Hanuman's adventures in Hindu myth involves his tail being set alight, and him using his burning tail to destroy the enemy camp. Gone are the fart jokes. As Monferno gets closer to the mythological monkey warriors that inspired it, the Pokédex bigs it up, more and more as a combatant. Pokemon Diamond tells us, to intimidate attackers, it stretches the fire on its tail to make itself appear bigger. Pokemon Pearl tells us, it uses ceilings and walls to launch aerial attacks. Its fiery tail is but one weapon. And Pokemon Platinum tells us, it skillfully controls the intensity of the fire on its tail to keep its foes at an ideal distance. The name Monferno of course combines monkey and inferno. The Japanese name is similar, Mokazaru combining saru or monkey with moka, roaring flames. Monferno has the look, and uses its firepower to do battle, but the impression is complete when, at level 36, it gains the fighting type and becomes Infernape. Infernape is a fully armoured battle monkey, with a crown of flames issuing forth from the top of its head. It holds itself with a forwards hunch, ready for battle, and its tail is a brilliant distraction behind it. Pokemon Pearl tells us, its crown of fire is indicative of its fiery nature. It is beaten by none in terms of quickness. Infernape is now a fire and fighting type, bringing to mind the monkey style of Kung Fu, a maneuverable and playful fighting style well represented in Kung Fu movies, one of the 5 animal styles. Pokemon Diamond tells us, it uses a special kind of martial arts involving all its limbs. Its fire never goes out. And Platinum expands. It uses unique fighting moves with fire on its hands and feet. It will take on any opponent. Heart Gold and Soul Silver tell us, it tosses its enemies around with agility. It uses all its limbs to fight in its own unique style. Pokemon Legends Arceus tells us, a tall, hardy Pokemon with a dazzling appearance. It shrouds itself in flame and battles as if engaged in dance. Truly a sight to behold. The name Infernape uses the word Inferno again, which is cool, but also goes back to ape despite a very clear and prominent tail. The Japanese name is Gokuzaru, upgrading Hokuzaru's roaring fire to Hellfire, but also alluding a little bit to Son Goku, perhaps the most famous incarnation of Son Wukong to Pokemon's target audience of Japanese middle schoolers. In the Pokemon anime, Ash had an Infernape, which was very much his MVP throughout the Diamond and Pearl series, a period in the anime when the character actually reached a level of maturity and competence that let fans really get behind his Pokemon battling team. Infernape was obtained as a Chimchar from Ash's rival Pool, who didn't value the little monkey. Seeing it grow and win was a vindicating experience. Infernape was also effective in the video game competitive scene. The 4th generation brought the split between physical and special moves, and Infernape was the first example of a mixed attacker in the new game, able to strike physically and burn specially. The legends of Hanuman and Sung Wukong aren't as well known as they should be in the West, but their influence is felt in the form of cool monkey warriors across Asian media. Chimchar, Monferno and Infernape gave me an excuse to dig a little deeper, and the stories I found are delightfully over the top and incredibly cool. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon was composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show was by Katie Groves. Chimchar and its evolutions were designed by Takao Uno. Writing, producing and editing is by me, Luke Summerhaze, and funding is provided by you lovely listeners on Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius to find links to the other shows I make. Why not check out the Rajang episode of Monster Mash, or jump into one of the Matt and Luke Sci-Fi Sanctuary episodes about Planet of the Apes. And if you want, please throw $1 a month our way to help keep things online and listen to shows early. I love hearing from you guys about why you love these Pokemon too. I was already 16 when I got my hands on Diamond and Pearl, so I'd love to hear nostalgia from younger listeners, or thoughts and feelings from any of you guys. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook at LukeLovesPKMN about our next 2 monsters, Piplup and Starly, or about any Pokemon you want to share your love for. And even if you don't feel like doing any of what I just said, thank you so much for listening. I love Chimchar, and remember, I love you too.